Hi there, welcome to Pitchside once again. Just want to appreciate everyone that is always on this channel, commenting, sharing, and of course reaching out to us because of the good content that we actually share. Now, as you are all aware, the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations draw is out. It was definitely conducted in Casablanca, Morocco, which is the host nation of this particular tournament happening in December. We all know that 24 teams are going to battle it out for one major prize. The defending champions of this competition are Ivory Coast, and we know that they did beat Nigeria in the previous edition in Ivory Coast to win this championship. So what is on offer in 2025? Well, loads of exciting fixtures are coming your way, but most importantly, the Uganda Cranes are pooled in Group C alongside Tunisia, who are champions of 2004, four-time AFCON champions and African giants. Nigeria, call them the Super Eagles, as well as Uganda's neighbors, the Taifa Stars or Tanzania, who have never won the AFCON. The Cranes have also never won the AFCON, that's for sure, but have participated in 7 editions. This is going to be their 8th edition since they started participating at AFCON. Today on Pitchside, we want to break down for you the opponents in Group C for the Uganda Cranes and want to tell you what you should look out for. For starters, the Cranes, of course, have faced all of these 3 opponents all through in their history. Let's start with Tunisia, a country that the Cranes have faced in AFCON tournaments as well as international friendlies. They've had 6 meetings, and in all the meetings, the Cranes have not won a game. It's been Tunisia all through. 1962 was an AFCON tournament. The Cranes played Tunisia and lost that one by 3-0. 78, the AFCON where the Cranes reached the final. They faced Tunisia and still lost in that one by 3-1. Then the rest have been AFCON qualifiers and friendlies. So you would, in a nutshell, say that it's not been a very good ride for the Cranes against Tunisia whenever they've met. That is one team that the Cranes need to really prepare for and make sure that when they meet in Casablanca or in Rabat, where the Cranes are going to play their home group games, they are ready to actually get a result. Let's turn our focus to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Oh my goodness, it's a powerhouse. Big names here: Calvin Bassey, Victor Osimhen. I can go on and on and on. Alex Iwobi, all these guys, Stanley Nwabali, the goalkeeper, all these guys are going to be available for the Super Eagles in Morocco. They had a very good tournament in Ivory Coast, reached the final. We also what Ademola Lookman did, the current CAF African Football of the Year, and we also saw what Victor Osimhen did. So without a doubt, not a lot is going to change with the Nigerian team when we meet at the AFCON, but for sure Uganda Cranes and the Super Eagles have met before. Cranes have had a bit of luck with Nigeria, getting results against them. 4 wins in there, 2 losses, 2 draws, but most famously, you remember that fixture in Abeokuta when the Cranes lost to the Super Eagles by 1-0. The Cranes goal scored by Serun Kwoma Joffre was cancelled by Senegalese referee Diatta. If you remember that game, that goal was actually wrongly disallowed, should have stood, but the Super Eagles went on to win that game. That was an AFCON qualifier, and in the return leg, Uganda turned on the heat at the Mandela National Stadium, full to capacity, and guess who fired back? David Obua and Ibrahim Sekaja scored 2 penalties to actually give the Cranes a massive 2-1 result. And I remember very well John Utaka actually did score for the Super Eagles at the Mandela National Stadium. So that win is one of the Cranes' massive results that they've gotten in their history, beating Nigeria in Kampala by 2-1. But by that, the Cranes were officially invited to open the Aqua Ibom Stadium. In 2015, they took on the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Farouk Mia scored the only goal in that friendly, as the Cranes actually got one better than the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Away from what will happen on the pitch between the Super Eagles and the Uganda Cranes, of course in the AFCON 2025 group stage game, I foresee a bit of excitement on social media. If Nigerians thought that they can bring it on, Ugandans have their A game on social media. They will come at you with your jollof rice, they will come at you with your plantain, they will come at you with, Lagos and the population and everything that comes with that. But of course, I know the Nigerians will also throw it back and try and push, the excitement and all with their star players that they have. For sure, Nigeria has a star team. That's for sure. We can't run away from that fact. So it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup right there. Our final team in this group, which is the Taifa Stars of Tanzania. It comes last because of the history Uganda and Tanzania share. For starters, we are neighbors, or Uganda and Tanzania are neighbors, but also a lot ties them together. We've had Ugandan players go in Tanzania to actually play in the top flight of the Tanzanian Premier League. Currently, Khalid Aucho features for Young Africans in Tanzania. You've had Emmanuel Okwi playing at Simba. You have all these other players who have featured in the Tanzanian Premier League. Now, that is where the rivalry comes from, because Uganda and Tanzania are definitely rivals on the pitch. In this group C, Uganda and Tanzania have met the most times. And the matter of fact, I can tell you for sure that the Cranes and Tanzania have met over 62 times. Most of these times have been in Sekafa, the Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup, but also both countries have met in CHAN qualifiers and AFCON qualifiers. The Taifa Stars of late have really put on a show. They beat the Uganda Cranes in the 2023 AFCON qualifiers in Ismailia. Simon Musuva scored that goal and the Taifa Stars a ticket to the AFCON that happened. And of course, we've featured also alongside a couple of tournaments. We've played against Tanzania in a couple of tournaments, but you should argue that in the past 20-15 years, the Cranes have had the better hand of the Taifa Stars. It's going to be different this time round because Taifa Stars will want to also get out of the group by beating Uganda. So who wins it? Is it going to be Tanzania? Is it going to be Uganda? For sure, it's going to be one of the big games in Group C when the AFCON gets underway. And as regards to social media, my Tanzanian brothers are not as exciting, I should say. Yeah, they're not as exciting as Ugandans when it comes to banter on social media. And I can tell you for sure that Ugandans are going to have a meal if the Cranes actually beat up on Tanzania in that fixture in the AFCON tournament. Those are Uganda's 3 opponents in Group C at the upcoming AFCON 2025 tournament. Do not forget, this tournament is starting in December this year and it will run through to January 2026. So the Uganda Cranes fixture list is already out. They open up their campaign on the 23rd of December against Tunisia. Thereafter, they return to action on the 27th of December and they will be in action against their neighbors, Tanzania. They wrap up their group stage campaign against the Super Eagles of Nigeria on 30th of December. Slightly on the Cranes issue and how they can actually reach the round of 16 like they did in 2019. For the Cranes to actually advance from the group stages, they will definitely need a win and at least 2 draws at worst. Number 1 win against a team they are familiar with. Tanzania, I'm so sorry, is one of the teams the Cranes will actually try and pick 3 points from. Thereafter, try and see if they can get at least a draw off Tunisia and see how it goes with Nigeria on the final group game. But that means if they beat Tanzania and pick a draw against Tunisia, those are 4 points. And maybe a point against the Super Eagles, those are 5 points. That easily takes you to the round of 16. So most importantly, the Cranes have to win at least 1 game and pick up 2 draws. And they will be home and dry. Beyond that, it's calculators and mathematics. That has been a breakdown of what you should expect at the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations 2025, which is going to happen in Morocco. And from Uganda and all Ugandans, it's all support and love. Wishing them all the best when the competition gets underway in December. Keep watching Pitchside. We shall be getting you more of this exclusive information as we go by. Cheers.